Hi Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your March 2020 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. So let's dive right in now, Leo, because this is a really beautiful full moon. Not only is it a supermoon and the second supermoon in a sequence of 4 supermoons, so we had one last month, we have one this month, and then we'll have one in April and in May, which really means that it amplifies the energy of the moon that we are in. So this full moon is a Virgo full moon, so it's amplifying that energy. It's also amplifying the energy of personal relationships or work relationships, any sort of relationships that you have. It will be amplifying the energy around them. This is also when Mercury comes out of retrograde on the 9th, on the day of this full moon, and the impact of this full moon will last from March 9th to April 7th, so from full moon to full moon. So it's really quite an exciting time. I'm going to be moving to the side your Queen of the Moon cards, which I will be layering along with the Moonology cards on top of the tarot at the end to really let the moon speak for herself during this time and what she wants you to know about the energy surrounding the impact of your emotions with the tarot, with the moon, everything like that. So it's going to give a lot more insight, a lot more knowledge. So let's see here. How will Leo be affected by the March 2020 full moon? How will Leo be affected by the March 2020 full moon? How will Leo be affected by the March 2020 full moon? How will Leo be affected by the March 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, 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 show me clearly. Fantastic. At the center of everything, we have the Hierophant, which is a Taurus energy, a time frame of April 20th to May 20th. You're crowned by the Ace of Swords. Then we have the Queen of Wands. Leo, this is you shining through in the minor arcana. You are represented by the Wands. In the major arcana, you are represented by the Strength card. We have the Nine of Swords. We have the Hermit, which is representative of a Virgo energy. This full moon is in Virgo, so it's going to be very impactful on you. We have the Eight of Swords going into the Nine of Swords. I like that progression here, even though not my favorite card combination or my favorite cards, to be honest with you. But we have the Two of Wands. We have the Ace of Wands right here. You're definitely taking this gift. The Queen of Pentacles, strong prosperity right at your heart. And then the Three of Cups. And for me, the Three of Cups is understanding that sometimes relationships don't go the way that we have had planned, or this is that relationship that broke up and that nasty little voice of your ex that kind of sits in your head, or of a friend who you thought, oh my gosh, we'll be friends forever, and then you're not. So this is, for me, the Three of Cups is negativity, hurtfulness, pain, sorrow that comes into our consciousness every now and then to try and take us off our path. And especially for you, Leo, off this path during this time of getting things done, of walking into your power, of, tremendous prosperity. Because right here, the full moon for you, and I'm going to talk about these cards that I have laid out, which is all about the full moon, the new moon, the full moon that we will be going into in April, how that is going to kind of impact things during this time for you. So the full moon here in the Queen of the Moon and the Moonology cards is all about surrendering to the divine and embracing your power. So as you surrender, as you realize that things aren't always in our control, right? You are going to find that you are empowered, you are invigorated, you are emboldened, which moves you towards this full moon's energy, which is in Virgo, which says you are good enough. And I mean it every time I read it. I sit there and I think, oh my gosh, it's just a bit rude, to say you're good enough. It's kind of like you can't really cut it. You're just going to be okay, mediocre at best. At best. But what I'm really seeing here is it's not saying you are good enough, like dismissively. It's saying you're good enough. Like, stop. Stop. It's kind of like when you're working on something, especially if it's a piece of art, a piece of music, a piece of writing, a piece of, artwork, in general, drawing. You're always going to want to poke at it. You're always going to want to make it better. Or if you're working on a presentation, to, present to somebody, you're going to sit there and think, okay, I just have to make it better and better and better and better and better. There comes a point where you say, it's good enough. It's good enough. I can't keep driving myself crazy. And that's what this Virgo moon is really telling you here. It's telling you to be discerning, okay? A bit discriminating when it comes to the energy that you let in around you. Don't sit there and think, oh my gosh, I have to be everybody's best friend, or oh my gosh, I have to, be like this to make that person happy, or like this to make that person happy, kind of trying to be like a chameleon in this situation. That's not going to work for you. There is this sense here of you're being very inclined towards the fixing, towards the tending, and it can make you a little bit fussy at things. This moon, all right, during this time can make you a bit like nitpicky. So here, as you are being discerning about things, as you're sitting there and saying, you know what, no, I don't want to do this, or I don't want that energy in my life, or I'm not going to obsess about how I could have changed my behavior because I don't have a time machine. I can't go back. So here with the Virgo full moon, you are seeing, okay, how do I move forward? How do I cleanse, clear my mind, move myself forward towards where I need to be? And you will have that sense of wanting to be the helper, wanting to be the caregiver, wanting to be the person who kind of comes in like the white knight, but for you during this time, you have to be your own hero to your own story. And here with the supermoon, this is emotions are running high, but emotions are also going to be amplified. So as you are being the hero of your story, of your narrative, you are going to find that when you are saying, I'm good enough, you are saying, I am enough. I am enough. And that is such a powerful thing to say. You don't need to be somebody you are not. You don't need to conform into a place or a being or an understanding that you were never born to be a part of anyway. And it's just because we lose track of things and we want to fit in society, or we want people to like us, that we tend to fall away, or we want to be successful. We tend to fall away from our truth. Whereas if we stick in our truth, this Virgo moon is going to show us that if we stay in our truth and we stay in our power and we have this tenacity of soul and self, we can accomplish tremendous things. Because with the supermoon, your emotions are running high, but you're also having a huge sense of the law of attraction coming to you, of kind of being like a magnet to what it is that you want, what it is that you're thinking of. So during this time, be very mindful of what you're thinking of. Mindfulness is going to be very important to you because you are going to be attracting some absolutely breathtaking things into your life. But if you are not mindful of what you are focusing on, you can very well attract very negative things, very overwhelming things, because during this worm moon, because that's the moon that we're in, which sounds a little bit like, oh, okay, couldn't it come up with a nicer name? But if you're in the northern hemisphere, this is a time when the earth is awakening. If you're in a warmer part of the northern hemisphere, you are definitely, having some nice, warmer, some sunny days. But here, there is this sense of the earth awakening, all right, and moving forward in that awakening, that richness of the soil, the richness of what's being planted, or the womb being ready to be planted in. If you are in the southern hemisphere, I see the green that is around her like a blanket coming over her, wrapping her, making it so that you can be cozy and centered as you have those winter months, as you have those months of incubation, learning, understanding, planning, seeing, and then moving forward into action, or embracing action during this time, but doing so at a bit of a slower pace, a bit of a pace that is very important to your soul, yourself, and your power as you're moving forward. So for a lot of you Leos during this time, you're going to sit there and think, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be doing things more quickly. I'm supposed to be getting more things done. Why am I taking so much time? Why am I misstepping? Why are things going wrong here? And if you step back, you're going to realize that things are moving forward really, really well for you. But you're expecting a lot and you're putting a lot on your shoulders. Now, during the new moon, which is on the 24th of March, you're going to find that this is really a time of focus. Now, why is that? Because the new moon is in Aries, and this is a time to take action. This is a time of focus and action and really seeing things and saying, okay, I'm getting the job done. And as you are getting the job done, you embrace, you embrace new beginnings. Now, this is, of course, a portal right here. And with this portal, you are either walking into, or doorway, you are walking into the spring, or you are walking into, well, here it's the winter, but it can also be the fall. So you are walking into a change of seasons that is going to be very important and very impactful for you. And as you walk into that change of seasons, you are looking at things and seeing a new start around you. You're seeing kind of like the slate wash clean. I'm really seeing an Etch-a-Sketch, kind of shaking that and letting the image fall away. So here there is this sense of a new beginning coming, and a sense of wanting to take action, wanting to be very in the middle of things, in the midst of things as you move forward. And as you're taking action, as you're, as you're looking at what you desire, you're going to find by the end of March, more towards the beginning of April, because on April 7th is the new moon, you're going to see that you are finding a balance, a harmony of things. And this is moving you into a win-win outcome. Okay, this is letting you sit there and see how you can really move forward as a victor of the situation, as a sense, in a sense of like, I see this, I understand it, and I know the steps that I need to take. Now, during this time, the totem animal for this period, the totem animal for March, is the wolf spirit and the whale spirit. If you see these animals, images of them or in the wild, the wolf spirit is saying, turn knowledge into wisdom. And you are going to see that the knowledge that you have accumulated over, your years is turning into wisdom, is turning into understanding, is giving you strong foundational roots for which to build off of. And then it moves you to the whale spirit, which says, trust the great mysteries. Trust that you're not supposed to know it all, and that we have never known it all. And so as you trust in the great mysteries, you're going to find that it's easier to let go of certain things. And it is very invigorating to sit there and say, some things are never truly supposed to be understood or discovered. And so as you trust in the mysteries, you're going to find that as April approaches, the wolf spirit stays with us. So the totem animals for April, the wolf spirit and the hawk spirit. So the wolf spirit, again, knowledge becomes wisdom. And as knowledge becomes wisdom, you let spirit be your guide. You see that there is so much more out there for yourself than you could possibly have imagined. And you are tremendously empowered because of this. Now, at the heart of everything, you have the earth sign energy of Taurus. Now, you have the earth sign energy in the full moon with Virgo, all right? And there you're going to be... Okay, so Virgo is the best... It's not the best helper, but it's the one who likes to feel the most as if they're helping you along, right? But it can also be the most fussy of the earth signs. With this being balanced by this Taurus energy at your center, there is this sense here of really putting things into perspective. There's a sense of coming into your power. Here, he is depicted, the Hierophant is depicted as the Pope, as he is in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It is being the King of Kings. It is the person who got to tell kings how to behave, how to act, what was expected. And during this time, it's not saying that you will be the King of Kings. It is very much saying that you are embracing your power, your traditions, your truth, and that is going to be your stabilizing focus. And that is going to be something that you need to really look at in the full moon in Virgo. What is your stabilizing truth? What are your traditions? What is the power of your heart, your soul, yourself? Because here, as you, or you can very well also be embracing a Taurus energy during this time, Leo, where this person is really helping you out. There's a sense here of prosperity, prosperity for generations, prosperity of a completion of dreams and desires that live on. It doesn't mean that it has to be a child, though she is holding a child in her arms. It does mean that there is a wealth and a prosperity and a bounty that has the maturity to it of a queen and the innocence to it of a child. And you could also see the pentacles as the seeds being planted. What is it that you desire? what is it that you want. You're going to be very prosperous during this time, Leo, but you're also going to be much more comfortable behind the scenes, because even though the Hierophant represents the Pope, he is very, I'm seeing it right now as a very regimented time for you. Not in that you have to keep a very strict schedule, though if you find, kind of usefulness and helpfulness in a routine, which you can very well, which Leo, you might very well find, there is the sense of embracing patterns, embracing understandings, and embracing your idea of prosperity. Now, during this time, because we have the spring equinox here, because we're coming out of retrograde, because the emotions are amplified by the supermoon, you are going to find that what is important to you isn't necessarily going to be important to everybody else. So as you look at what you value as much as money, if not wealth itself, you are going to be looking at things differently than other people. But do not change your viewpoint or your ideas, because there can be times where you feel like you're stumbling, where you feel like, wow, I'm really not moving forward in the way that I would want to, in the way that I really feel like I need to. But what Spirit is saying here is that you most definitely are. And the prosperity that is coming comes from being true to yourself, not falling away from the prosperity, the bounty that you need, and doubting yourself, okay? Doubting the way that you can move forward. Because here is the Ace of Swords. You are crowned by two gifts from divinity and the universe. So you are most definitely taking this gift of the Ace of Wands. But you also have the Ace of Swords, which isn't a gift that you are quite taking yet, but is permeating every single aspect of this reading. Why? Because you have the Eight of Swords and you have the Nine of Swords. The Eight of Swords is questioning yourselves, doubts, fears, feeling stuck. The Nine of Swords is restless nights, not being able to sleep, sitting there, worrying if you've made the right decision. One has you unable to move. The other has you exhausted and unable to face the day as energized and as prepared as you would like to be. The Ace of Swords right here is saying that divinity is handing you a gift of knowledge. It's as clear as crystal ringing, okay? Or as a bell ringing. And as you cut through the doubts and the fears, as you embrace your knowledge and your understanding, the Ace of Wands is passion, creativity, determination. There is this sense of moving towards uncharted waters, of embracing what you desire and what you need and what you truly want. And as you do so, you're going to cut through the negativity that has held you back. Because at your roots right here, we have the Hermit. Now we have the repeat of the number 9. There we go. I can speak. The number 9, which is saying that you are coming very close to a completion of a cycle. So you can feel like things should be moving forward more quickly than they actually are, because intuitively you know that you are moving towards the completion of a cycle and embracing of a new phase in life, a new dawn, a new day, a new season that you are definitely walking into on the 24th of March. You're walking into a new season and a time of tremendous action. But before that, you are really going to be turning inward, looking at your light, your purpose, your passion, your power. What is it that you desire? What is it that you need? The Virgo energy of this moon is very much going to be a rooting force, meaning it is going to be your roots. Yeah, you're going to sit there and really be oriented on what externally can be making your life easier. Okay, Leo? But it's going to be internally. That Spirit is saying, look internally, because what you're going to find is that once you look inside, you are going to be able to pinpoint what you need with a ferocity of spirit and a determination of self. And as you embrace that light, the light that guides you, this is your North Star, right? This is your passion. This is the light of the God's head within, where you see that you are connected to the universe, that stardust flows through your veins. And as you see what it is that you need to focus on personally to be able to move forward, you look at the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups the way I see the Three of Cups is very much the hurtful things that we have happen in our lives, the hurtful people we have come into our lives, where you might sit there and say, wow, what did I do to deserve this? What did I do to deserve this relationship? Be it a romantic relationship, be it a relationship with a parent, with a friend, with a sibling. You're looking at things and like, what did I do? And the fact of the matter is this was kind of preordained. And I know that could sound silly, or that may sound hard to believe, but I do believe that things are agreed upon before we even come down to this earthly plane. And as we have these interactions, they're karmic interactions, right? They are interactions to break DNA patterns, right? That we've inherited from our parents, from our grandparents, from people, from our DNA. And you're looking at things and saying, well, why do I have to be following this pattern? Why is it that I'm always unlucky when it comes to this or when it comes to that? No, you're changing your narrative. You are turning inward and you are finding and following your light to move you forward. And as you do so, you're going to see that where you were once stuck and what once caused you sleepless nights, you're finding your prosperity, your bounty, your beauty to last generations, to move you forward, to have you looking at a greater picture and a greater truth, to sit there and say, yes, I trusted this person. Yes, I thought that I could move forward in this way, but it was untrue. And everybody stumbles, everybody falls. If you show me one person who has made it to, their halfway point in life and has never made a mistake, that person is lying to you. So here, it is knowing that life is about the stumbles. Life is about being overwhelmed. Life is about questioning. But there's prosperity that comes because of it. There's prosperity that leads you forward and guides you to a greater truth and guides you to a wealth that you are going to be rather protective of, but absolutely worthy of embracing. And you are looking towards your future. You hold the world in your hands, whether you see it or not, or whether you believe it or not. And as you're looking over the days, the weeks, the months, the years to come, you see that there is a passion, a power, a creativity, a purpose to you that moves you forward. There is a new dawn, a new day, a sense of deeper understanding and a coming together. There is an embrace of that personal magic within you, because I always see the Queen of Wands as Heket, the Greek goddess of magic, right? The triple face goddess also. So knowing the phases of life, we have youth, we have you have the child, the mother, and the crone is how she's depicted a lot of the times, but it's also the phases of life, the learning, the building, and then the rejoicing is also the way that it can be seen here. And there is the sense here of, as you're moving forward towards your prosperity, towards your success, as you are embracing these new beginnings and claiming your power and seeing the areas for which you get stuck. All right, the things that you think, oh my gosh, I could never move forward this way. I could never, understand this riddle of life, or, there is this truth that is coming. And Spirit is saying there can be a sense here, Leo, of feeling as if it's easier to be stuck, or it's easier to be in the place that you know, and you might hate it. And believe me, I have most definitely been there. I can completely understand what Spirit is saying, where you feel as if I can't move forward. Because where I am, it's not where I want to be, but I know it. Okay, I know it. I can pay the bills. I can, take care of things. And even if you're struggling, it's kind of like, but how bad is it going to be out there? How bad is it going to be, until, if I lose this security? And what Spirit is saying here is that there is this need during, especially this full moon, as you're clearing out the clutter, as you are taking action of what you want, as you're seeing new beginnings in power, and you're really embracing your balance and your wisdom, and Spirit walks with you, and you know the greater mysteries of things, okay? you're embracing this energy right here of being more behind the scenes. And as you are behind the scenes, you step into your traditional truth, your truth as the individual housing your soul. And you see the doubts, the fears, the apprehensions, the oh my gosh, I can't, start to crumble away. You are guided by the light, and the negative voices that have held you back and that make you question yourself, that make you think, oh my gosh, I can't do this, you're walking away from. And as you walk away, let's see what the Queen of the Moon cards have to say. How will Leo be affected by the March 2020 full moon? How will Leo be affected by the March 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly. Okay, fantastic. That's where the cards fell, so that's where Spirit wants me to stop. Oh, I like this. How will Leo be affected by the March 2020 full moon? How will Leo be affected by the March 2020 full moon? How will Leo be affected by the March 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Fantastic. Yeah, the Virgo energy, really strong here because you have the new moon in Virgo. So as you are released, there is a patience that you need to have with yourself, Leo, as you move forward, as you embrace your traditions, as you embrace your understanding, because then it leads you to the new moon in Virgo, which says time to give rather than to take. And so here she is giving the prosperity to the generations to come, right? But it's not saying that you have to be completely selfless. Like, there is no joy, no happiness, no bounty that you can have during this time. You can only give, you cannot take. It is saying here that it is going to be very satisfying for you to see the impact that the prosperity that you have, right, that is around you when you share it with others, as you share it with those who are nearest and dearest to you, starts to open up. And it's time to let go of the past and embrace the future. Yeah, because you are planting seeds that grow to beautiful heights. And this is a time where either, the trees are awakening from their slumber of winter, or they are going into their slumber of winter, depending on which hemisphere you are at. And so here there is this sense of being patient and knowing that it is time to give the beauty of, be it the falling of the leaves or the coming of the fruit, to this time. And as you are moving forward, you have blossoming right here. You are blossoming into the person you want to be as you cut through doubts and fears, as you release negativity, as you see things more clearly, and as you cut through doubts and fears and embrace your prosperity. You have the new moon in Cancer, which says you and your loved ones are safe. So you are embracing passion, new ideas, new inspiration, and you know that you and your loved ones are safe as you move forward in this journey, but also in this power of self, because you are releasing, again, the negativity that has held you back, and you are seeing the light, and you're also releasing the light from within to guide you forward, to be your North Star, to be your warming force as you plant your seeds, as you know what you desire for this earth, because you have here tremendous power with the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles that comes forward in this earthly plane. On this earthly plane, you have this focus, this power, this determination, and that's why patience is so important for you. Did I do this right? I think it went like this. That's why patience is so important for you during this time, because you are going to see that as you release, as you have patience with yourself, you move forward towards your greater purpose, right? Towards what you want to start seeing manifesting on this earthly plane. And this brings you to the full moon in Scorpio, which says it is time to release negativity. It is time to let this energy go. It will not serve you. It will not serve you. Yes, you have a rich repertoire of emotions for which to pick from to, convey yourself and to relate to others. And it gives you this beautiful, power of humanity. But to carry it around will be like the chains that Marley carried around in A Christmas Carol. It will weigh you down and it will take away your power. And then we have discernment, which is what this full moon is all about. It's about being discerning. It's about, knowing what energies you want to let in. And it's about sitting here and saying, what makes you feel stuck? What makes you feel scared? What makes you feel overwhelmed? What is it that makes you feel like you are avoiding the day instead of embracing your power? Because by not letting that go, but by acknowledging it, you give yourself a powerful understanding that is really quite intense. And then with the North Node, you step out of your comfort zone, the worry, the doubt, the fear, the apprehension, the questioning, and you step into your grace, your power, your certainty, your determination, which leads you to giving rather than receiving, to giving to the power of what you want within your life and letting go of the negativity, to move forward and understand your boundaries. Boundaries are really important. People can't just walk all over you, Leo. It's having clear boundaries. It's setting up clear limits. And as you do so, you're going to see that the world really opens up to you because you know what you will and will not accept from people, and you know what you will and will not also accept from yourself. Because you're having those clear boundaries, it moves you to the cardinal moon, which says be bold and make the first move. And this is talking to you right here over the Queen of Wands. This is you in the minor arcana. Be bold, Leo, and make the first move. Go after what you desire. Take that power that divinity is offering you and move forward in grace and in purpose, because you're safe. Because you're safe, you're protected, and you have so much to give during this time. There is so much inspiration and beauty around you. Now, your subconscious message for this whole entire reading is the Three of Swords: heartbreak, pain, disappointment. You have the Three of Cups, which talks about heartbreak and pain. We have the Three of Swords, which talks about heartbreak and pain, but these are actually gifts from divinity. And I know you're going to sit there and say, Dane, these are not gifts. I know what a gift is, and this is not it. But a gift is also something that can empower you to move you forward. And here, with the Three of Swords, it's looking at that pain. It's looking at that heartbreak. It's looking at that disappointment and saying, you know what? You do not hold any power over me, because now I am moving forward in my truth and in my purpose. This moves you to the first quarter moon. Your commitment is being tested, all right? Your commitment to your dreams, to yourself, to your power, to your truth is being tested, Leo. Will you move forward and meet that test head on, or will it be the test that breaks you, that has you giving up on yourself? And your subconscious message from the Queen of the Moon is will. Do you have the will to achieve? Do you have the will for it? Because the cards are showing that you do. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you, and I love you all. Bye.